It's a problem your child's school could be facing right now, classroom overcrowding. But it's a question of how each district handles the issue. Some let teachers choose between extra money or extra classroom help. Target 8's Danny Carlson's exposing the story tonight.
I know that they have about 28 kids in the classroom, and for one teacher, I think that's a lot.
A lot, Amanda Elsie says, because her son, Stefan Benham, sometimes needs a little extra adult help. Help, she says, he doesn't always get. Now, there are nearly 30 sets of preteen eyes watching him in his classroom, witnessing his mistakes. Stefan says having another adult there that he could talk to privately would help, which is why his mom was surprised to learn Newaygo is one of several West Michigan school districts who offer teachers with big classes a choice on how to handle it.
And then you're going to put down 5 of them.
For the first time this year, teachers there can either have a paraprofessional come in to help with the overload or get paid extra for that extra work, $40 per kid per day.
They should focus on helping the student more instead of taking the money for themselves.
Why are you having this problem now?
Well, we've reduced certified staff the last several years, even before my tenure here. And as you reduce certified staff, you have bigger classes. It's a math problem, really.
It is important for us to note that in Newaygo, the classroom that had the most students over the agreed upon class size was 4. Now in that particular case, that meant 30 second graders in one classroom. But for most of the classrooms we looked at, they were only over by 1 or 2 students, if at all. And we also found out that it's not unusual to offer teachers a choice between extra money or extra help. 11 West Michigan school districts do the exact same thing.
77 is 7 times 11.
It's definitely a whole different organization aspect to it when you're looking at a few more kids.
The names of Christina Tendero Scott's first grade students take up this whole wall.
So we're going to start with the big number first.
In her district, Rockford, elementary teachers don't have a choice. Bigger classes mean it's time for a parapro.
It's a really good idea.
Parapro might be more work than just doing it by yourself.
You know, it is extra work kind of because you are managing another person. But the hope is you are working as a team.
That's terrific. That is super.
In terms of dollars and cents, some people might say it's cheaper just to offer a teacher
It might.
a stipend.
It might be cheaper, but my philosophy has always been what is in the best interest of the student. And the best interest of the student, in my opinion, is providing a parapro in the classroom.
Open it up.
But even that, Rockford Superintendent Dr. Michael Scheibler says is not the answer.
Go ahead, keep reading.
Quite frankly, I'm getting tired of having cut after cut after cut in funding and then being told at the same time, well, we're going to hold you accountable here, here, and here, but we're going to give you less money to do that.
They said a big reason this is the first time they've had to do this is because they just don't have the money for teachers, and they just don't have the same funding that they used to have. And so that's where this problem is coming from.
I think it's important to note when we talk to schools, when they talk about the funding that's available to them, we need to make sure that we tell our schools that education is one of our top priorities here at the state to make sure the students have what they need to learn.
State Rep Lisa Posthumous-Lyons, the chair of the House Education Committee, told us she didn't know this was an issue until Target 8 brought it to her attention, telling us she doesn't know why the state doesn't have mandated class sizes. Then we asked her about her kid's district, Lowell.
As a parent, would you rather have your kid in a classroom with a paraprofessional or where their teacher is getting a little bit of money?
As a parent, I guess it would just depend on the teacher. I have a tremendous amount of faith in my kid's teacher, but we also have a lot of parental involvement.
Oh, absolutely.
Freshman Representative Colleen Lamonti, a Muskegon High School teacher just a few months ago, says it's been a problem for years.
We look at classroom sizes as something that, you know, schools are allowed to choose. Yet when it comes to a daycare situation, we regulate how many children a daycare provider can have under their care at any one time. We don't do that in schools, and to me it's just common sense.
Lamonti says all of her science classes had more than 30 students, and while she did get a stipend for that extra work, she tells us she ended up using that money to buy extra supplies.
You can ask any teacher, and they would be more than willing to give back that money if it went towards hiring more teachers to reduce their classroom sizes.
What are we going to do next?
More teachers, though, says Lamonte, not necessarily more parapros.
I think we need to get away from Band-Aids.
This isn't a case of teachers choosing money over students or anything like that.
Absolutely not. And I'm saddened that people would think that, because the staff here has nothing but students in the best interest of the students.
Back in Newaygo, the superintendent says she's not sure the district will continue to give teachers the option.
I don't know that people want the choice. I think some would rather just be told what's going to happen. I don't know, that remains to be seen.
They shouldn't give the teacher the choice. They should leave it up to the parents.
Danny Carlson, Target 8.